What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Before we go into my list of the most beautiful dark-skinned women, we need to go over why I made the list in the first place. Please like and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I just said I don't like women with my complexion. I like light-skinned women. I want you to be lighter than me. I love African-American women, but I just don't like my skin complexion.
Okay. Well, I like your skin complexion.
We too gutter. Black people, my complexion, we too gutter. Light-skinned women, they most sensitive, you know?
Some dark-skinned women out here sensitive.
No, they too tough. They too tough. Light-skinned women, we could break them down more easy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's wrong, but he's right too. Here's what I mean. For each of these black TV and movie characters, tell me which one is more masculine, more aggressive, more promiscuous, more ghetto, more ratchet. These are sisters. Which one is more mean? Which one is more promiscuous? Again, these are sisters. Same nature, same nurture, yet they have so different attitudes. And it's the dark-skinned one with the negative one. I didn't watch Girlfriend, so I had to ask ChatGPT to describe the 4 main characters based off their personalities. And according to ChatGPT, Joan was the most sensible and feminine, Lynn was the most open-minded and friendly, and Maya was the most outspoken and aggressive, and Tony was the most materialistic and mean. So the 2 light-skinned women were feminine and friendly, and the 2 dark-skinned women were aggressive and mean. You know who that sound like?
My complexion, we too gutter. Light-skinned women, they most sensitive, you know?
Some dark-skinned women out here sensitive.
No, they too tough. They too tough.
So you might call Kodak Black ignorant, but I call him observant. Cause this is the narrative that they've been pushing, and he drank the Kool-Aid. Cause what he gave was an accurate description of the narrative. But is that the reality?
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, man, she light-skinned, dog. I would be surprised if she hasn't put her hands on him already. I don't care. I be stereotyping people, son. I'm just saying all the women I know that beat dudes are all light-skinned, bro. And I know a lot of women that beat dudes.
Tia Jones set a trap to gain control of Xavier Worthy's $16 million contract, but Worthy ended up having the last laugh. After the Chiefs rookie faced a Super Bowl loss, he was arrested on domestic violence charges. His then-fiancée, Jones, hinted she made the accusations. In reality, this was Jones's scheme to seize Worthy's $16 million. After being caught cheating, Jones, a public figure, sought to protect her reputation by accusing Worthy of domestic violence. However, evidence showed Jones was the aggressor. Photos from Worthy's arrest revealed scratches on his face and hair pulled out by Jones. She even trashed a room during the altercation.
A scathing love triangle that sources say involves Pelican star Zion Williamson. Kenner police say the whole thing started back in March when they say Love egged the woman's house and then threatened her on social media.
Love direct messaged her on Instagram and said, "Don't worry, it's going to be your head next when I drop this baby. Count your days." She allegedly returned to the woman's home around 1 a.m. after tossing the eggs. She had a key to the woman's home.
Police say Monday, Love, who had just given birth weeks ago, entered the victim's house, grabbed her hair, hit her with keys, leaving just cuts all over her face and her arms with her fingernails torn off, according to investigators.
She was also ordered to turn in a pistol she owned and to stay away from the unidentified victim.
And eggs are expensive, so you know she had to be mad.
Oh, she was upset.
You want to talk about mad? She hit her up and said on March 17th, "I'm going to beat that ass as I drop this baby." On April 6th, she went to go beat that ass. Okay?
And these 2 incidents are recent, like in the last month or so of making this video. Now, I'm not here to say light-skinned women are more aggressive or violent than dark-skinned women. I got love for my high yellow red bones and my dark and lovelies and everything in between. I'm not making this video to shit on light-skinned women. I'm here because everybody been shitting on dark-skinned women.
Why is it that people only think colorism has to do with the dating world? It runs way deeper than that. We are underrepresented and undesirable in every aspect in life. The fact that every time there's a black lead, it always has to be a light-skinned woman who plays it, unless it's a movie about slavery. The fact that society will praise Saweetie for her work, yet don't give nearly as much hype to Flo Milli, Money Long, Ari Lennox, Tiana Taylor. I could just go on. The fact that I can count the amount of known dark-skinned models on my fingers all has to do with colorism. And it's not that dark skins aren't as talented. It's not that we don't work as hard. It's that as a dark-skinned woman, you could be completely beautiful, completely talented, and still not get nearly as much praise as somebody else who is lighter and more mediocre. And that's just facts.
And she got a point. Because I can say, okay, maybe in Hollywood, we don't control who gets in the movies and who gets awarded. However, even in music videos, you see a lot of light-skinned women being featured. The only two videos I can think of that heavily featured dark-skinned women was 2 Chainz, Fez Watching, and Dolph, Royalty. Long live Dolph.
First thing that came to mind was thinking about Lil' Kim and how like so many people in 2022 be like, oh, you look so good when you were darker skinned. I'm just like, but y'all treating her like shit. Sorry for cussing, but it's the truth. Like she literally said like, all the people I was dating would leave me for white European girls. Like y'all like talked about my nose, you talked about my features, featureism, and just she wanted an easier life. So I'm just like, I think about like, why are there so many material benefits to being lighter?
I can answer that. Because white people put themselves at the top. And if they're at the top, that means whoever's furthest away from white is at the bottom. And it's not just race or complexion. It also goes with the way we dress, the way we talk, the religions we practice. The closer you get to white, the better.
Can you tell me why you started to bleach your skin?
It's like you growing up in school, you have mainly guys making fun of your skin color and calling you charcoal, calling you dark. So growing up, you just start to feel like, oh, okay, no one likes me because of my skin color. Like, okay, I see. So that kind of does something to your head, you feel me? And also we have social media. They do praise lighter skinned women, Latinas, whatever, pale skinned women. So that kind of makes you feel like you're not desired, you feel me? So, and that's why I started bleaching my skin. That's why I started skin lightening because of it, you know? But I do have negative comments, people saying you hate yourself, you wish you were white, this and that, you're a follower, like just a lot of stuff, but I don't really like listen to it. I really don't care. I guess how society sees dark women, like we're basically the losing team. Like who wants to be on the losing team?
And I realized when I was speaking to one of my lighter skinned, colleagues afterwards, and we're just talking about the interview process, I had to do 10 interviews in order to get this job. And this is me working in corporate America after having not only a bachelor's degree, an Ivy League degree as well, and a master's in business. And then I still had 10 interviews while she said she had 3. Not only that, I then realized when she told me her pay and my pay, there was a gap. And this is not just my experience, and this is not for a lack of negotiating because I did. It's the experience of tons of darker skinned Black women. I feel like for me and a lot of people, we don't get the opportunity to be who we are freely. And that's the problem. It goes beyond dating, it goes beyond beauty standards. It's about the money as well. And it's about how we're perceived. And I think when I hear this comment, it kind of feels like, I hear you, because I kind of feel the same. There needs to be a lot of more situations where there's dark female cast members all around. It's not to deter what any of you are doing or myself, because we all, again, deserve to be here. But I recognize how much, as a community, we say, as Black people, we have to work twice as hard for half as much. I feel like as a dark-skinned Black woman, it's 3 times as hard.
And what's weird is it used to be the same for men. Light skin was good, dark skin was bad. But that has changed completely now.
Is he someone that's your type?
You're a nice gentleman, but probably not.
Okay. And why not?
I just really don't like light skin like that.
Okay. Ooh. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Reggie, you're still holding on to your balloon. Why so?
Well, I was just being nice, but here's the thing. You made a comment earlier.
Yes,
you said you don't do light skin brothers.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm light skinned.
Yes, you are.
I got a daughter. She's light skinned. And on behalf of light skinned brothers everywhere, I'm apologizing.
That works for me, sir.
So,
and your daughter wasn't part of the conversation. I said light skinned men.
If you don't like light skin,
my daughter's light skinned too.
That's colorism
but,
to me. If you don't like my light-skinned self, how you gonna approve of my light-skinned child? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry if you feel like I was being racist towards the light-skinned brothers, but let me make sure I turn this way and say, sir, I apologize if I said that the reason why I didn't like you was because you was light-skinned. I would never discriminate just because you're light-skinned. You're just not my type. That don't make me a racist.
I don't even take offense to it.
You did.
No.
Your feelings was hurt.
No, you took it as me taking offense to it. I'm just telling you straight up.
You brought your daughter in the mix, but we're not gonna argue about that tonight.
I grew up hating my skin color, and because my sister, she's mixed race, so she's half white. This is so pathetic, bro. I can't believe I'm about to admit this, but I go around in school, especially in primary school, I'd be like, I was almost mixed race, you know. Because obviously my dad didn't break up with my mum. Could have been me.
It should have been me, not him. It's not fair.
Could have been you. That's crazy. And that's because I grew up hating my skin color. The fact that I was so dark. And my uncle would always say it. Every time I go to greet him, he's like, have you gotten darker?
Nah.
It's not funny. But how can I ask, have you gone darker? What do you mean? Brother, are you trying to violate me? I think we need to unpack this.
With the family members starting to set that boundary with words are so powerful. The external voice starts to become the internal. That's why a lot of people are hypocritical of themselves, because they've always had people being hypocritical of them.
That's so true. My uncle, he just hated me. He'd always say that. But the one thing he'd always say is, you're so dark. What woman's gonna like you?
That young, you were saying that. That's crazy.
When I was growing up, he'd just be like, you're dark. So I grew up hating my skin color.
So I think one of the experiences of colorism that has stuck with me, and I know that like my mother, of course, like she said this offhandedly, but you know, as a child, like that's something that's rooted in you. But I remember one time that she was just like, you don't need to marry somebody that's like your shade or darker, like your kids are gonna come out too dark. And I just remember being like, damn, like is there something wrong with me?
So I used to travel like to Ghana quite a bit because that's where my mum's originally from and stuff like that. And what would happen is often she would tell me to cream my skin just in case I get dark. You know, oh, Max, you are getting too dark. You need to cream your skin so you don't get dark. And back then I was ignorant. But now I look at it and realize, wait, hold on. What's wrong with being dark?
Absolutely nothing. And that's why I made this video. And with no further ado, here are the baddest dark-skinned women. And you can see that black is beautiful.
Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. Yeah, the way we live in the day. I'm talking right now. Hey, dreads hang on designer everything. Mr. Como de Garçon, Mr. Alexander Wayne, Mr. Chain, Pinky Ring, Glow Insane, Girl Insane. Man, these shoes I got on, these are hard as I done seen. It look clean when you pour it. I remix it, make it dirty. If she got, go ahead and take my takes her back and tell her. This that category 5 when I walk up in the strip club. Throw it high, make you and George Washington head. But OGs never fed us. Now young people fed up. Ballin' so hard, I deserve an and one. Baking soda market and I'm getting it, ain't I? Obviously, you a B, you a A. That's just my philosophy. And I'm known to kick it like the captain of a soccer team. Billie Jean, red leather, same color, red lobster. And she brainwash you, head up. I'm be fresh as hell if the fans watch. Hey, I'm be fresh as hell if the fans watch. Say what? I'm be fresh as hell if the fans watch. Say what? I'm be fresh as hell if the fans watch. Hey, I'm be fresh as hell if the fans watch. I'm be fresh as hell if the fans watch. I'm be fresh as hell if the grams the Grammys, 2 guns, Yosemite. People put that Glock on your ass. Bump the hell the beat, pumping that amphetamine. All this D I'm peddling. I be somewhere settling, somewhere that you have never been. To the top you never been.
What's wrong with being dark?
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know which one you think is the baddest, and feel free to let me know who I left out. I'm more than happy to make a part 2 because we're going to talk about colorism some more in future videos.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?